On today's episode, the Gen X brothers interview Molly Vamp, a unique band that plays a mix of vampiric deathrock mixed with old school metal. Abortions, love them or leave them? Will Dave Chappelle end up like John Lennon? And the trailer park past rears its ugly head.
Coming to you from one of the most resourceful, independent, and badass generations of all time. Welcome to the Gen X Brothers Podcast. Join Erik and Glenn, two half-brothers that make up one hell of a show.
What's up, my abortion-fighting feminists? Keep up
I should have been aborted. I should have been aborted.
Since we weren't aborted, we're here to help you in the fight against the Supreme Court.
I could have been aborted and not even known it. I don't remember anything up until 4 years old. I think it was my first memory of anything. So if I would have been aborted, how do you even know you're aborted or not? Why is it considered murdered if you don't even know you're being poked at?
What's
by
the big deal?
Hanger?
Yeah, get rid of a few of these babies, man. There's too many babies in this world anyway, so fuck it.
I still stand by my statement that abortion should be legal up until the age of 13. 13 is when kids start to get in trouble.
I say it's better to have it done by a medical professional than just have it end up in a dumpster. So
yeah.
Because that's where it's going to end up. There's going to be a lot of dumpster babies out there.
A lot of dumpster babies.
If they get rid of abortion, so.
Attack of the dumpster babies.
But it is crazy. Like, Erik, did you see all that? Like, that obviously it was a leak. Obviously somebody from the Supreme Court leaked it because they knew the shit was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was a last stitch
I knew who it was. It was that new black lady they got. The black lady. See, they should have never got a black lady as a Supreme Court justice.
That shit.
And a liberal. Just kidding.
Yeah, it probably was somebody on the other side, like a liberal or...
So this whole thing about there's pro-choice versus pro-life. You know, obviously I always make the point that, all these pro-lifers are all of a sudden pro-choice when it comes to masks and mandates of vaccines. And, the pro-lifers, they turn pro-choice when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my body. Don't fucking tell me what to do.
Yeah, right.
Fucking idiots.
And I also I'm thinking, well, what about the people who are pro-choice? I'm pro-choice. I think a woman should have a choice for everything. I think they should even have the choice to sell their own bodies for money and not have to go to jail for it. But
the difference between pro-choice and pro-life is telling somebody else what they should or should not do. Pro-choice is saying everybody should make up their own fucking mind and stay out of everybody else's business and let them make their own choice.
Now, one of the arguments is that if the court does overturn it, that it's supposed to be a good thing because it's going to allow the states to decide. Well, that's not a good thing because now you're going to have states that are just going to, if they don't want you having an abortion, you're going to be able to not have an abortion. And
well, the problem is you have places like Kentucky and Mississippi, and those places are very religious and very anti-abortion. I have a very simple solution to this whole situation, and this is the way it should be, and everybody should spread this word. If you live in a state that bans abortion, you should immediately move away. You should immediately move to a state who does allow it. Don't give them your tax dollars anymore. Don't allow them to get any revenue from you.
Yeah, hit them in the pocketbook.
Any state like California or New York should refuse to give money to a state that is anti-abortion. Because Kentucky is completely dependent upon New York and California for their welfare and their, adoptions, people who are in foster care. California and New York are the ones that are paying for that. So why are we going to pay for them if they're not going to allow people to make their own choices?
And just imagine, too, it's also going to cause a big upheave in hospital visits, because women are going to probably be finding other ways to abort a baby that they can't take care of or whatever, and it's going to be dangerous, and hospital is going to drive healthcare costs up, and it's just so stupid.
Okay, this is what doesn't make sense to me. Again, like you said with the whole vaccination thing, they're more than happy to say, it's my body, I should be able to make my own choice. And then other people will argue and say, but it's the baby. The baby can't make their own choice. You're making a choice for a life and a baby. But let me tell you this when it comes to religious beliefs. If you have a child that's, let's say, 5 years old, right, and you're very into religion and you're waiting for God, let's say that 5-year-old cat gets cancer. and they're going to die of cancer unless they get chemotherapy or a simple procedure that will cure it. There is cure for certain types of cancer. Let's say you can cure that 5-year-old, but because those parents believe in religion so much that they think God is going to cure them, they are then allowed to refuse service to that child. And that child will die because God obviously isn't going to save him because he doesn't exist. Duh.
Yeah.
So why is that perfectly legal, but a woman doesn't have the right to make her own choice? And then that's when the Satanic Church comes into play, which I love, the Satanic Temple.
Yes, which I'm a member of.
Because they say that if you join the Satanic Temple under their religious rites, you can make your own choice as to how you choose and treat your own body. So at least somebody, the demons, the hellhounds, the evil people of the world supposedly are the ones that are going to save everybody who are in crisis. So we salute you, the Satanic Temple.
Yes, and I'm a card carrying member, but I don't participate in any of the protests because I'm too lazy to get out there and shout it out, shout at the devil.
You should be taking your Baphomet banner and flying it around, Erik.
Yes.
You know, like those guys with the Trumper trucks and they have those fucking big ass or Go Brandon flags and Trump flags. We should get giant satanic ones and a giant Baphomet and just fly them around on our little mini cars.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
In our electric Teslas and shit. And just
So what about when the woman has this, let's say, you're a woman, find out you and your husband or your boyfriend or whatever, you find out you're pregnant, this is, and do you think he has as much right to a choice whether she decides as well, because that's going to be his baby as well, what if she wants to get the abortion?
Choice. In my opinion, I think he has some choice. Right. He should be part of the decision making, but ultimately
it's her choice.
If it's your body, you should decide what you do with it. That's because you're the one that's going to have to give birth to the thing. The female is the one that's going to have to push it out.
Yeah.
They're going to have to ultimately take care of it. If the guy can just go, okay, now that the baby's out, fuck you, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
She's still responsible for that baby. So it's up to her to ultimately make that decision. And I think that's the way it should be.
Breaking news: coat hanger sales up 120% since overturn of the
brand new stainless steel coat hangers, half price
on sale now.
Or actually, because of supply chain issues, they've gone up 300%. Now you got to pay $40 for one stainless steel coat hanger.
That's what's going to happen if SCOTUS overturns the Roe versus Wade. So who is Roe and who's Wade? So it looks like Wade's going to win this.
Yeah. So Roe was the person who was, I think back in the 70s, she was sexually assaulted, gang raped or some shit like that. And then it turns out I was watching this one video where it was all a lie, that she made it all up. So I don't know what the truth is, because they actually had her on video later on saying, no, I wasn't raped. I made it up. I was an alcoholic and I wanted attention or something. Like, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know the whole story, but I didn't know that. I didn't know she was, but they used it anyway to fight for the right for an abortion. So turns out she was just a drunken whore.
Drunken whore, man. But she created
But then again, maybe she's lying about that. Maybe some religious guy got a hold of her and told her to reverse lie and say, no, say you made it all up. Who knows?
I think that was one of the theories. I think I remember hearing about that she was coerced to actually say she made it up.
Yeah, just so that way they could throw a wrench into the whole mess. So either way, it doesn't matter who the individual is. It's to protect every woman on this planet or every woman in this country.
That's
also the whole idea.
Yeah, it's also to protect society from little serial killers growing up and killing people.
That is true. Yes.
You're going to be born into a family that doesn't want you, and you're going to be shifted into the foster care world left and right, and then
I think that judge even said the Supreme Court judge, the Barrett lady, the one with looks like she's got a stick up her ass.
Yeah.
And she's got like 10 adopted children or something, like some weird shit like that. But she was like, oh, you should just be able to give your baby away anywhere and it'll be taken care of in the foster system without getting in trouble. And it's like, isn't that the same abuse as killing a baby? Like, what's the difference? If you're just going to drop a baby off, damn well they're going to shame the shit out of those people.
Yeah.
Why did you leave your baby here? We got DNA on you. It's like, you can't win.
Exactly. Yeah, I just think it's going to cause a big old mess with Well, like I said before, the abortions were legal, or when they were legal. No, when they were illegal before in the past, whatever. I mean, didn't that cause like a lot of women to harm themselves with the coat hangers? And
oh yeah, or like I said, they would give birth and they would just throw it in a dumpster. And that's worse. I mean, you would rather get rid of the baby when it's only like, 6 weeks in the womb rather than fucking, throwing it away. And that's torture right there. I mean, either way, it's not for us to say realistically. It's for a woman to make her own choice. That's the bottom line. Just like you dipshits out there that have the choice to choose whether you get the vaccine or not, that you guys are fucking fighting for. Because I defend you on that. I think you have a right to whether you want to get the vaccine or not. You don't have a right to enter businesses if you're not vaccinated, but you still have the right to either get it or not. So if you guys want to start a cake business that says we will not make cakes for anyone who's had an abortion, hey, that's your right to do so. Go fucking make a cake shop and don't make cakes for people who've had abortion. But you still don't have a right to tell them whether they can or they cannot get an abortion.
They're coming after women's rights. Next, they'll be coming after us guys who we just won't be able to masturbate because we're killing babies.
Yeah,
that's how far they'll take it.
Well, that's what they're saying is that they're saying this is just the first step of the Supreme Court. Now that it's stacked in that on the right, that they're going to come after gay marriage. They're going to come after all the things that we hold dear, the rights of human rights of people,
even our metal. Even our right to rock.
And then when they take away our right to porn, then that's when we're really going to get fucking pissed.
That's when I'm storming that fucking place, man. I'm storming the freaking Capitol.
That just shows you how shitty politics are, how shitty our fucking government people are. They're all pieces of shit. So then let us do what we want. As long as you don't hurt anybody else.
That's what I understand. It's like a lot of people who are pro them overturning this, obviously the pro-lifers or whatever. And a lot of it's because they don't want the federal government involved in making decisions for people. That should be the states, right? Well, then if you put it in charge of the states, well, then you're giving those governors of those states to be in charge of your life. And so it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's the same exact thing. Why even vote? Why are we voting for politicians or even government or congressmen? Why, if we're not even going to freaking let them at least do something?
It's a lot easier for those religious nut jobs to put somebody in their state as the leader because, there's a lot of dipshits, as opposed to the whole country agreeing on a world leader or, for the whole country. So
fuck religion, man.
Be able to do their own thing.
Fuck religion.
Yes, absolutely, man. Religion is the root of all evil right there, man.
Yeah.
Fucking A. We need to have a whole show on religion, but we'll piss some people off certainly with that. If we get into that, we're going to fucking piss a lot of people off. That's for sure. And also, too, as a reminder, we are going to have Molly Vamp on the show today.
Yeah. Molly Vamp, the band, the man.
They're really cool, like death rock goth metal band. I guess, what would you call them, Erik? What would you?
Well, they have a very, obviously the vampire image and the cool look, all in black. They got a really cool gothic chick on drums. But then they got this music. It's a lot of reminiscent of Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, like riffs, but really good melodies. I was listening to his music earlier, and I really liked a lot of the melodies he's coming up with. Me being a songwriter, and some of the chord progressions he's using is really nice.
We'll give them a talk to here in just a little bit. I'll tell you what. Speaking of Kentucky and backwater fucking backwoods dipshits, let me tell you something, Erik. Let me tell you something
I'm from Kentucky.
Good.
What you got to say about my state, Kentucky?
Let me tell you what I saw in Walmart today.
Oh shit.
I saw the absolute most white trash, trailer park trash thing you could ever see in your life, okay?
What? One of our relatives?
Yes.
Are we related?
Cousin Jimmy.
Hey, yeah, cousin Jimmy.
No, let me tell you something. I saw a folding table, right? Now you might think, a folding table? What's so fucking white trash about that? It's just a folding table. Let me tell you something. This folding table is a round table, and it had a hole in the middle of it, right? And you think, oh, the hole might be for an umbrella or something nice. No, the hole was for you could put a garbage bag in the middle, and as you eat, you could throw your garbage into the middle of the table.
Oh, shit.
Now, that is downright some lazy-ass motherfuckers. If you're too fucking... You can't even get up to go put the garbage in the bag. You got to put it right in front of you.
Well, I'm going to go to... I got to go to Walmart and get one of these. Hold on. That sounds like fun.
Now, here's the worst part about it, right? the bag that you put in the middle, it's not just for a one-time meal. It's a huge, like 30-gallon bag that fits in the middle of there.
Damn.
So clearly it's more than one meal. So you're going to throw your garbage in there, right? You're going to eat outside. You're going to throw your garbage in the middle of the bag because it only seats 4 people. It's not like some party thing.
Yeah.
You're going to leave, come back a week later, the garbage is still there, and you're going to eat 2
around
feet away from fly-infested maggot garbage.
They didn't think that one too well, think it out too well.
Fucking trailer park trash right there. Only in the trailer park where you see that shit.
That's fucking gumbo right there, man.
I guess. I just started when I saw that walking down, I stopped and I just started laughing. I was just like, what? What is wrong?
Exclusively at Walmart.
You're gonna put garbage right where you eat. You're gonna fucking like you.
That's basically saying you're gonna shit where you eat.
Yes, and that you're so either you're so fat and lazy, or you're so hungry that you're gonna just shovel food in your mouth so fast that you have to get rid of the scraps and throw it to the middle of the table. Like I could just picture like 4 fat 500-pound people sitting at this table, eating, shoveling food in their mouth, and then just throwing shit in the middle until it fills up.
Hey, Mom, can you pass the potatoes? I'll see. And then she drops it into the garbage by accident. Oh shit, we gotta get it out of there.
It's still good. 5 seconds.
Hey, they should make it. Okay, so I bet I could see a deluxe version of this where you got the garbage bag in the middle, and then each seat has a toilet on the bottom where you can just shit and piss.
And it all goes into a trough for the pigs eat.
Yeah, you don't have to go nowhere. We just sit here, fucking have a good time eating. Oh yeah, mashed potatoes. Yeah. oh, there's the garbage. You have to throw it. 2 points. And
then the pigs eat it, and then they slaughter the pigs and repeat the process, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I cannot believe people.
That's definitely some white trash right there.
Only in Nevada. Well, probably all over the southern states. But.
If only we had one of those when we were growing up, like going over to Uncle Arlie's. And
no, in the trailer park, we just had a giant garbage can in the middle of the lot. You still had to walk like 20 feet to put your garbage in there. But, that's back when we were hard workers.
Yeah.
Now we're just lazy trailer park.
To walk across the little roadway to the garbage can. I hope you don't get ran over by somebody's moped or mini bike. Riding around in a circle.
Oh, man. Remember that trailer park, man? That was
Murphy's Mobile Park.
Well, let me tell you something. Like the mobile park, when we first moved there, when my parents got divorced, or our parents got divorced, we lived in the trailer park away because my grandmother, she actually had the nice trailer park compared to all the other trailer parks. Hers was actually pretty nice.
Yeah, and we
lived in about 3 or 4 blocks away in a shitty trailer park. But this is how poor we were, just so you guys are aware of it. We were so poor, we couldn't afford to live in a trailer in the trailer park. We lived in a shack in the middle of the trailer park. That's how poor we were. It was a little tiny, like a 1-bedroom.
Here's my theory. It looked to me like it used to be the laundromat.
That's what I was going to say, because it had drains in the floor. Yeah,
it had these like kind of big old drains in the floor, and I'm thinking like this had to be the laundromat, I bet. And then they just
turned it flipped it into a house. And the floors were cement. There was no carpet. Now today you get like this fancy cement floors where you think, oh, that's really cool and designer. No, this was like just fucking concrete with a little fucking grit and shit coming off of it. We would have to run around in our bare feet. Yeah. Fucking little white trash kids that we were.
People showing up at our door with the laundry baskets in their hand, trying to get in. Like, no, this ain't the laundry.
Can I do my laundry?
This is our house.
Yeah. What are you doing here? It's 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah. And that's where we first learned about, if you remember, that's where we first learned about John Lennon.
I remember the day John Lennon died because Mommy, I just remember my eyes were closed. I was fast asleep. And all I heard was, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, my eyes were wide open.
You know what happened?
I thought like the house was on fire or something. And, and she's like screaming and yelling, and I didn't even know who he was at that point.
Yeah, I kind of did, but I didn't really. Because I think she was like, you know who died? And we thought, well, shit, is it grandma?
Yeah, we thought it was like a family member.
Yeah, and then it's like, John Lennon, because she was a big she's a big Beatles fan, I guess. So
yeah. Oh man, yeah. So that brings me to John Lennon. Now, have you heard what happened to Dave Chappelle?
Yeah,
that guy
fucking Will
tackled
Smith,
him?
man. Will Smith go up there and say, "What's the hell's he attacking?" Everybody, man.
Fucking Will Smith, man. He's going downtown.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to stop you anywhere you go.
Who's next? No.
Well, this is what I have to say to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, please, because he said he's not going to let it affect him. He's going to say he's not going to change his routine because, he's a people person.
Yeah.
And I am pleading with you, Dave Chappelle, do not end up like John Lennon. Okay.
Yeah.
Get some extra security. Have somebody hire just some guy in the back. Just have some guy that if anybody rushes the stage, his job is just to tackle their ass before they get to you. You pay him $10 an hour. I'm sure anybody would be more than happy to do that job.
I mean, it's going to get to a point where comedians are going to need the Secret Service, basically. Thank
you, Will Smith, for that. It just gave everybody like, you could just attack a comedian? We didn't know that until Will Smith did it.
Yeah, that was so funny when Chris Rock goes up. Was that Will Smith? Yeah. Totally calls that.
But I mean, Dave Chappelle handled it pretty well, man. After just getting, he's all, wait, let me go see them.
He was like laughing. He was laughing and shit. Was that Eddie?
It was a trans man.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Was that Eddie Murphy next to him? I thought I saw Eddie Murphy there too, but I don't. The guy
I couldn't see in the video. I just know that some guy came up and hugged him from behind or something.
Yeah. So did they ever find out this guy? Did they ever find out what his motive was? Was he just somebody got pissed off at one of his jokes? I don't even think Dave was the main comedian, right? It was a night that he was introducing a bunch of different comedians or something.
Yeah, it was like a Netflix special with all kinds of different comedians. That's why Chris Rock was there and Seth Rogen was there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his motivation was. Whether he was going to hurt him.
A fake gun with a knife or something.
Well, that's what I was curious about. It's like he had like a gun. It's a metal object with a knife. Shouldn't a Hollywood Bowl be responsible for that? Because aren't they supposed to like metal detector at the front?
They probably thought it was a cigarette. People? They probably thought it was a cigarette lighter. I wonder if the knife
looks like a gun. I mean, come on, it doesn't.
But they
matter.
have those cigarette lighters shaped like a gun. But I wonder if does the blade close inside the barrel part?
Yeah, but it looked pretty big from the picture. I mean, I don't know how big it was, but
yeah, me too. It looked like it could definitely fit in your hand pretty good.
But it doesn't matter if you go through a metal detector. Beep 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 beep. It goes off. You check it and you say, "Oh, no, you can't have this, dude. This is a dangerous weapon." I mean, they've taken shit away from us for wearing spikes.
Yeah,
spike wristbands they take away from us.
Hell, remember when we went to what was that concert? We went to Iron Maiden with you and Sochi and everyone, and they made her take her belt off. Her belt was just with little chains on it. She couldn't even wear a belt. It wasn't even like
stupid.
It was crazy. Can't even dress up at concerts anymore. But this guy gets in with a freaking.
But yet this guy can get in there with a gun knife. If I was Dave Chappelle, I'd be suing somebody over that shit because
I'm sure
that's a total lack of security right there.
I'm sure they're looking at that. They have to be looking at that. Like, how is he even able to get it in? Even something that looks like a gun, And how is
he able to rush the stage? Get
up on the stage.
He shouldn't have even been able to get up there. I mean, that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at a comedy show, you're a little bit more relaxed than like
that's a big stage. I mean, we're talking about the Hollywood Bowl. It's not like a little club or an amphitheater or whatever. This is the Hollywood Bowl where I'm sure there's like a orchestral pit and all kinds of to be able to get to the stage. I would imagine
it would have taken a lot to get past that third. There's 2 or 3 barriers to even get over there. So,
like, I've never been inside the Hollywood Bowl. Surprisingly, living there for so long, but. I could just picture it being like there's no way that it would take forever to get to that front on top of that stage.
I've been there. I saw Dead Can Dance there. It's a huge place. There's no way to get to that front of the stage. I mean, it's just almost impossible with that unless you have some kind of security access. But I mean, maybe they have it set up differently for a comedy show than they do like a rock concert. But I don't know.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But I implore you, Dave, don't take this lightly, man. You're going to end up like we're going to be talking about you as if you were fucking John Lennon. You got shot by some crazy fan.
I hope he drops like a little YouTube video like he normally does when something happens. He'll drop like a little 15-minute YouTube video and speak his truth in a cool way.
Because no matter how many people hate you, Dave Chappelle, we love you. So
yeah, we love you, man. We get your jokes.
Don't ruin it. Don't take yourself away from us.
And I have a couple of I have a couple of friends that are trans, and they get your jokes. Like there's just uptight people out there, man.
That's what we were talking about that one when we were talking about Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
You know, getting canceled for making a hurricane joke. I mean, comedians are supposed to be outrageous. They're supposed to say stuff that make you feel uncomfortable. That's what you do. You think off the top of your head. You're a smart ass. You know, that's the craft.
Yeah. Especially like roasts. Like, when people go to those roasts and like they say some harsh ass shit to each other. There's been times I watch those roasts, I'm thinking, that looks like something that somebody would just jump out of their seat and go beat the hell out of that dude for saying that. But they laugh and they have a good time, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, because I mean, you're pointing out shit and you're exaggerating the facts to make a joke and have fun. You know, it's just some people are more sensitive. I know me, I'd get hurt and I would probably rush the stage with a gun knife myself. But
yeah.
You know, that's why I don't sit at the front of comedy shows, because I know they would probably make fun of me.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I don't need that headache, because I'm a sensitive guy. So, you know.
Yeah, I've been picked on a few times at comedy shows. Especially if you got long hair, you know, they're going to point you out. Like, look, there's Kiss in the audience, a member of Kiss. Like, one guy one time. Not every guy with long black hair is a member of Kiss. Yeah.
At least call us Marilyn Manson.
I know, right? At least be somewhat up to date.
Yeah. At least call us a rapist. No.
Yeah, a rapist.
See, now that was a joke that didn't mean anything. It probably offended somebody that said, "Oh, he used the word rape."
Oh shit, dude!
God.
Here comes Will Smith.
Yeah. No, the ghost of Will Smith.
They should make that.
He's going to turn into a ghost and just start punching anybody that.
They should make that into a thing where like
makes a bad joke.
Yeah, just have him pop up everywhere.
You insulted my wife.
Probably going to be a phenomenon. Like, oh, you just got Will Smith. You just got Will Smith. He's going to get smacked or whatever.
Oh my God. All right, so we want to help welcome a very unique band. The best way to describe them is, I would say, a death rock Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
We want to welcome Molly Vamp onto the show. Hey, Molly and Billy, how you guys doing, man?
Hello, good.
I like that description.
Yeah.
People ask what we are, and I'm like, I don't know, kind of Iron Maiden, but we look goth or something. I don't know.
The drum beat has that very unique death rock tone and tempo to it, and then the riffs are very Iron Maiden-ish, and then the vocals kind of back it up. So
me being a big Iron Maiden fan, like it's like my all-time favorite band. That's the first thing I noticed when I was listening to your music. I was like, those riffs, man, those are some Maiden riffs, without copying Maiden, but it's like you could tell that there's the influence there. And I was going to ask you, it sounds very like Killer's, Iron Maiden's first album, the Paul Di'Anno era. Like some of your riffs kind of have that feeling. Is that more of your style of Iron Maiden, or you Iron Maiden as a whole?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm actually like around it. I love the Blass era also. But yeah, totally like Paul and basically like the early Maiden.
Yeah. And I can hear Billy even channeling some of that Steve Harris, man. I was like, damn.
I don't know.
So I think that's the uniqueness, is that you got this look that's very, you got the vampire image and the goth look. And then you got the goth drummer. It's even cool. Like she's a goth female drummer, which you don't see a whole lot of in bands. And then you got your kind of Maiden, Judas Priest, like metal rock sound. And then you also got a lot of really dark gothic sounds as well. And I think that's really cool.
How did you guys come up with this project, or how did you form the band, and give us a little bit of a history?
Well, it all started when I was a kid.
As it all does.
I'm kidding.
You were metal baptized as a kid.
It's like, I don't know. It's like I have a lot of influences with like even just like 70s rock. I love Thin Lizzy and Black Sabbath and UFO. So I just like to come up with all that stuff and put it in a pot and just throw it out there.
The crazy thing about this band, at least from my part of it, is, well, Erik I don't know how much of your memory there is, but
Yeah. Let me check the brain cell up there.
I had been in that cover band Zowie Boom. It was my first band, and then I followed Tor, who you should also remember.
Yeah.
I followed him into a metal band from San Bernardino, and then I was working at Hot Topic, and Rod started working there. So we hit it off really good. I mean, he's a lot younger than I am, but somehow I guess I saw my youth in him. He was like more of the up and coming age. So we needed a guitar player at the time. So as we were hitting off a friendship, we brought him in. And then maybe after a year or two, I went to the Hollywood area, which was when I was hanging around with you guys and everything. And I lost touch with Rod for till about 90, or wait, when did we reconnect? In the 2000s? Maybe 2009, 2010?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, we reconnected, and he had basically kind of kept that metal band going with all different members, different names. And he just said, hey, you want to jam with us? And so we circled right through, and now he's the one running the band. It's his band.
Yeah. So I was going to say, so it's Molly Vamp, and then your name is Molly Vamp. So in other words, kind of like Don Dawkins. And,
It started off with, and I don't know if I can say this on the air, A.S.M.
Say anything.
You remember?
Yeah, A.S.M. Really? No, nobody's going to care.
No, that was an inside joke, because every time I would ask, what does A.S.M. mean? Dude, I can't say it. You can't say it.
Yeah, we didn't even call him. He was in the band for, a year or two. We can't tell him what it is.
When I say A.S.M., I think Amazing Spider-Man, just because I'm a comic book.
It was something Victor came up with, and I don't know what the hell it was. I don't remember. Something about aliens or something.
Didn't I play with you guys too? I think I might have played guitar with you guys, with you and Victor. I think there was a couple times I played with you.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
Yeah, I know we rehearsed a few times. I think I was filling for Paul or something, maybe. Or
at the end of it got really dysfunctional and very different members. I think Rod or Molly, brought in the drummer for the last show we did, and I don't even know who he is.
It was we
played the teaser.
It was a kid. We just this guy's playing drums. I'm like, hey, do you want to play drums? He's like, yeah, I'll play drums. But his style was very alternative almost. So I mean, it was different, but I could see everything was like going.
Yeah. It's starting to explode.
And it was Glitter and Glam of all places too.
At the teaser.
That was our in. Yeah, we got to know Timmy through Teddy from Revl'on, and
Okay.
we would do shows with you guys there too. So it's that was kind of our last show. I think for some reason our old drummer and guitar player, one of the shows barely made it in time, and then we did the other show where we brought Paul in. So it was Paul, Molly, me, Victor, and some drummer guy. And at that point, it was just completely falling apart. I don't even remember rehearsing for that show. So maybe the drummer just came in and winged it. I don't know.
You still keep in contact with Victor or no?
Yeah. Every once in a while, we were like, yo.
Yeah. Tor.
He's doing good, actually. He's in Guns N' Roses tribute.
Okay, yeah. Last time I saw him a few years ago, he was in a Van Halen one or something.
Yeah, because he was always a good singer. He's just a little nutty, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
He's an excellent performer. I mean, he gets all into it, and he gets all the crowd pumping. I think that's one of the things that me and him connected. That the first day he's like, dude, you want to jam? I'm like, let's do this. And we started jamming. And then I was running the circle with Billy. With the A.S.M. deal, it was supposed to be, the name was Alien Sex Machine, right? So we're like, well, let's do something different. And he's like, okay, let's do something like Dracula. Okay, so let's call it Dracula.
Oh,
that's when we clever. Initially started this whole vampire thing. So we were supposed to come up with nicknames. I thought, okay, I'm going to come up with Thor, Maximus, something manly, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, dude, you're going to come up with a female name.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, whatever. Okay, I'll do Molly. So initially it was Molly Ringworm.
Cool.
And I was like, no, maybe it should be Vamp Pumpkin.
Oh,
Down the line, I cut the pumpkin and it just became Vamp. So everybody was like, hey, Molly. And that nickname kind of just stuck to me.
Okay.
So the band Dracula, we started doing that. And it only lasted a few years, maybe 4 years. Right after that, that's when I was like, well, since Dracula is no more, let's do Molly Vamp.
Dracula, that's a clever name. I'm surprised no one's come along and taken that.
I've been trying to scout Billy for a long time. And then finally he's like, yeah, I'll do it. It must have been, I think I was begging for like maybe like 4 years before he joined.
4 years.
Yeah.
Billy's in high demand.
Yeah, I think it was the last Peppermint Creep show. Molly Vamp was on the bill too, and we were upstairs, and he's all, but I was in full outfit and everything, and he's all, you want to play? I think it was Woman, because it was something that was much slower, pretty basic chords. He's all, yeah. So I was like real close to going down there, and then I kind of thought the whole thing out, like, I'm still in my whole outfit and everything. And I know some people don't like that double duty kind of stuff and everything, and the mystique and all that. So I was like, sorry, dude. But then I guess maybe by the next show, he was like, why don't you come down and jam, or, whatever it was. We just got together, and that's how many years ago now? That's 4 or 5 years ago, probably.
Dang, dude. We started playing, must have been December of 2014.
Oh, almost 10 years. Wow. Whew.
I know. I got like grace going on, and
So then what are your main goth influences? Because obviously you have a streak of goth in you, the vampire. What are your main influences on that side of the realm as far as music goes?
In Molly Vamp right now, when we do shows where we throw covers in, we do Peter Murphy.
Okay.
And we do Judas Priest, and we do the Ramones. So it kind of, even though I've always been like an 80s rocker or a metalhead guy, musically I'm actually more into like kind of pop punky kind of stuff as far as the drums and stuff like that. So that, like, I tell people, Peter Murphy, the Ramones, and Judas Priest kind of sum up what we're all about.
You guys do Cuts You Up.
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah. I've been wanting to record that song for a long time. I got an acoustic version of it. It sounds cool.
I know. And then I'm doing a cover band with Paul right now, and when we're trying to pick the songs that we want to do, of course he threw that out because he didn't tell me. He goes, "Well, it's one you guys playing Molly Vamp." I'm like, I saw Peter Murphy because I was dating a girl that wanted to see him. So he puts on a really amazing show. I just never really came from that background.
I would have to say, for me, like, as far as goth goes, I think the Doors were probably one of the influences that I've had, but then like The Cure, especially Bauhaus, all the cool stuff. If it wasn't for The Cure, if it wasn't for Iron Maiden or Judas Priest, I think I would have been like a total goth.
Goth, yeah. I'm the same way. Like, metal was my first love, and I got into goth when I first heard Disintegration, that was it.
What's the club scene like nowadays in Hollywood? Because I know we used to play it all the time a long time ago, but I'm curious to know, because you guys are still playing live, still doing the clubs around the LA area. What's that like? Is it still a pain in the ass?
It's frustrating. Only because a lot of the clubs don't promote bands that are like coming up, especially like people who are just, they haven't heard or they're not from that area. Especially like if we're gonna do a whiskey show and I don't see any promotion on the website or when you're driving by. I know it's an additional fee, but why? I don't get it. It should open up doors so people can know who they are. At least have an MC and say, tomorrow night's gonna be Sorceress of Sabbath or whatever.
Yeah, with Molly Vamp.
But no, it seems like, everything seems to be like everybody's on their own, and
it's very isolated.
It's a struggle.
Not only do they do that, do they still do the pay to play? Like, we have to sell them out of tickets, and so they're doing this. They're making you sell tickets and charging you extra if you want some promotion or whatever, right? It's and then charge you if you want them to videotape the show. You got to pay for that.
You got to pay for that. You got to pay for park.
Yeah.
And I go, "Hey Joey, come on, give me a break." He's like, "No, $20 a park." I go, "Dude, but I got to roll my stuff all the way down to the hill."
Yeah. Now, have you played all the? I would imagine you guys probably played all the clubs on the Strip, right? Like the Troubadour, the Roxy. Is the Key Club still there? Is it changed the same again?
No, I
where
think
it used to be
the Key Club, it's no more, huh?
Well, yeah. After the Key Club, it became some sort of like a hip hop hangout. I don't know if it's still open or not.
Yeah, I do remember that. It became some
like a something one or one something or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, last time I played there was 2007. I think it was the last gig I had there with Will-O-Wisp, and it was with Dark Funeral or whatever.
Oh, because you weren't there when Will-O-Wisp played the memorial show. That's right.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't think I was.
Well, no, you were there because you got the squid stuck on the light.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe I did.
And it burned, and when they returned it, they got in trouble.
I drank a lot back in those days. I don't remember which date, what year I played. All I know is the last show I played there was with Dark Funeral in 2007 or 6, somewhere in there.
Yeah, Molly Vamp, though, we're similar to your guys' approach kind of thing. We play all kinds of places. Anybody that will let us in, pretty much.
That's how you got to do it. Just fucking play.
Exactly.
Play.
So we get some cool shows. We get shows with some odd lineups. But the scene, having been in a lot of the scene back in the day, it's like he was saying, there's the clubs rely almost 100% on the bands bringing things in. Because when we play, say, the Whiskey at like 8 o'clock or whatever, literally the only people that are there are the people that we got to come there, and then as each band plays, of course. But I mean, there's none of the old vibe of, we would go to the Whiskey, get there early because, if whoever was headlining, Pretty Boy Floyd or whoever, there was going to be 5 or 6 bands that were going to be cool, that fit the genre and everything.
Do you have a favorite club that you guys play? What would be my favorite was always the Troubadour. What about you, Molly? What's your favorite club that you play?
I love the Whiskey.
On the strip?
The Whiskey's always been a favorite, only because of the history. The Roxy, I like the Roxy too. But I think I would have to go with the Whiskey. Yeah, the Whiskey's
a great place too.
Yeah, I always like the Roxy because the stage was like the perfect height. Like the Whiskey, the stage is too high. The Roxy is kind of like people can kind of still be in your face, but they're still separated. So you had that room to kind of get, to be crazy in front of people, and you feel that energy more. The Whiskey always felt so like, I don't know, like they're too far away. Like we're bigger than what we were,
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah, still legend. It's still nice to think of wow, all of our heroes played on the same stage, and you're going all the way back to the Doors, like you mentioned earlier. The Doors, just if you're a young band moving to Hollywood and you play one of those clubs, it's like you already felt like you made it. Like I already made it. Like that's how we were when we came from a small town. And then to play the Whiskey for the first time, it's like wow, we already made it. We don't need a record deal. Fuck it.
Are you guys making the transition into the digital age? Because obviously there's a lot, with Spotify and streaming and all this shit, TikTok and YouTube and all this stuff. Are you guys making that transition? Because I know a lot of bands, it's hard. It's get people to listen to you or even pay attention to you.
I've always been pretty much the bass player needed kind of thing. Like, you know what? I don't want a lot of involvement. Just throw me on the stage, show me the bass, or not show me, but show me the songs you want to play, and I'll just play the bass for you.
You're like the Dean Casanova of bass players.
And during COVID, I actually bought my Mac so I could start playing with GarageBand and doing demos and stuff like that. So, but if I join somebody else's band, I'd rather not try to step too much on toes. I can save that all for when I ever get my own project down or whatever.
I think it's easier for me because since we don't have a label, so I have to do everything myself. And I think that with the Spotify and the Amazon, I can do it just by clicking a button and it goes everywhere. And then also with the website, I can push it and send it to all over the world. And I think has worked for us. The only downfall on that is that we don't have any, like if somebody wants to download our music, they can download, but we don't make any money. We're just
that's so true.
Barely make shit.
Pushing it out there, So the only thing we make money out of is like when we sell merch, t-shirts or hats or whatever, or even stickers and stuff.
Even the big bands that are signed, that's how they make their money, is by having to stay on tour 24/7 and merchandise.
Yeah. Really. Yeah, I had to buy this hat.
Yeah.
Go to back to make some money.
You had to buy your own hat, right? I had to buy my own mug.
I got merch royalties.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it works nowadays. I guess the upside is that you have total control over what you're doing, but the downside is that Spotify and all the streaming services, they make all the money off. Even Bandcamp, that seems like a joke to me. Even though you make money off of it, you can still listen to anything on Bandcamp for free. You don't have to pay, only if you want to download it. So it doesn't make any sense.
And it doesn't give you the option to buy like the person's record or CD. But I do love the fact that, like I said, it takes away the control that the record companies and the radio stations had, where now you can actually go and find new music on your own, without. The downfall about streaming music for bands is that everybody's doing it, everybody and their grandmother's doing it, but but the fact that you can actually go if I come across Molly Vamp and say, well, those guys look kind of cool, I'm going to hit play, and wow, okay. I love this. If I like it, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to see if they have any physical music. If they don't, then I'll just download it or put it on my playlist. And And I think that's the beauty of being able to find new music with the streaming that we didn't have back in the day. You know?
See, now that's where Erik is a very generous person, and I am not. I'm just like, fuck it. I listen to it on streaming. That's cool. I don't give a shit. I ain't buying nothing.
I got If I let you,
we're two.
I was going to ask you, Molly, Molly, do you guys have physical records that you guys sell, or physical CDs of the last album? I think I saw on Spotify from 2018, which is like the what was the name of that? It was.
We have The Vampires Have Risen.
The The Vampires Have Risen. And it's that song Believe. I was listening to that song Believe, which is really cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We don't have any physical CDs, but I mean, I could make them. And it's going to most likely be from my computer. And then I get a little, I go to the UPS store and print them. But that's the one. That's one of the things that we want to do is have like either a CD with a barcode. So that way we can get some kind of money back. But overall, I think for me, it's just the fact that we're doing music and putting it out there. I think for me, that's satisfying to have something. And I get like a message from, like the other day, I got a message from Japan saying, dude, I heard your record. I was like, oh, cool. You know, that's a really satisfying moment.
That's what it's all about too. And just be able to create at your own pace, put out music at your own pace, your own time, and just have fun with it, you know, because it's part of you. It's who you are. You're a musician. You're a creator. It's in your blood.
Now, do you have any nightmare stories as far as playing live? Like us in Will-O-Wisp, we always used to cause riots and have people throw shit at us. Are there any nightmare stories on your end over your career? I always love to hear those.
Yeah, there's a few. There was a few fights that started right in front of us. There was another situation where there was nobody there, right? It was just the lady brooming the place, and we were still on. We had maybe a 30-minute show, and all of a sudden, onto the second song, the promoter just grabs the microphone and says, "Show's over," and we're like, "Whoa, wait a minute." So that was like a rude awakening.
Cool.
Did you start smashing their equipment at that point?
That's what we would have done.
That's what we would have done. Yeah,
I was going to, but then I thought like, no, I don't know these people here, and
yeah. Well, our drummer was not so respectful because he would actually just destroy stuff. Yeah. And then once he started, we'd be like, fuck it, we got to join in. We got to back him up. What you got to do?
Oh, I was going to say one of the things that it was funny for us. Do you guys remember Rebel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good friends of theirs. Yeah.
Yeah, so we invite these guys. We used to invite them a lot. And it turns out that the people at the pubs and clubs, they didn't like the fact that, you know, they had confetti, they had all this like fireworks, they would burn things on them. And so I was a guy at the end of their show cleaning up their stuff, and I was like,
You're the cleanup guy for Rebel. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, those guys got banned. Every time we play with them, they get banned and shit.
We've had to do that a couple of times, clean up so that way we could go on next. And we were like, fuck, man, we can't even get to the stage.
Rebel was banned so many times we just ended up having to play at this little place called the Vanilla Fudge Cafe or whatever. Is that what it was called? The Natural Fudge Cafe.
Natural Fudge Cafe. Yeah, that was a great place.
That was like the only place they would let Rebel play.
And the stage was only like 6 feet wide, so it was the smallest stage I'd ever been on.
But you saw Jet come out with that freaking big old spike on his cod piece or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You know you're in trouble.
You end up with little bits of TV smashed in your hair and shit, with glass. Feathers all over. I remember they played this one show. It was some little shitty club, and they fucking sprayed this shit, and it got on my face. Or no, it was, I had makeup on, right? So I was in full makeup. And we're playing the show, and then they fucking cut that pillow with feathers everywhere and threw it right in my face. So the feathers were stuck all over my fucking makeup on my face. So I had to go the rest of the night looking like fucking Birdman and shit.
You didn't get no pussy that night.
No. I went home alone.
Went home alone that night.
I picked up a few pigeons on the way back.
That's about it. Hey, so Molly, songwriting, I'm always fascinated by the songwriting process. You come up with most of the riffs or all the riffs, or how does that work? Do you have the other guys contribute, like Billy and your drummer contribute as well?
For all
For all
the
your
shit that we
music?
do now, yeah, for everything that we do now, I'm pretty much the guy that writes all the lyrics and I come up with the riffs.
Okay.
Eventually, I plan to have everybody's input so we can do something together. But for the most part, I have like over 50 songs that I've written. And a lot of the stuff that I come up with are either stuff that happens to me when I was growing up, or I listen to Megadeth or I listen to Nirvana and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I get inspired. So I like the fact that I can take from even like as far as like jazz, like Louis Armstrong, like I'll be listening to a riff and I'll be like, hey, that's a good melody. Sometimes in dreams, I'll have songs that pump in my head. And I used to wake up like at 4 a.m. trying to like go to the computer, trying to turn on the seat to record the music. But
I do that too.
I haven't been doing it lately. Everything that we've been doing now is stuff that I wrote like probably like 20 years ago. The goal is to eventually, move forward and start from scratch and just go at it, see what comes up.
Are you guys looking for a record deal still? Like, in other words, we know how the record industry now is like way different than it was like 10, 20 years ago. But there's still like some pretty good labels like Nuclear Blast or Napalm Records that are still signing bands like you guys and other bands that are like gothic metal. Is that something you guys are looking to do possibly, or like?
I think Billy wanted to go for Capitol Records. I was like, kind of.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Casablanca Records.
Casablanca.
It's funny.
I tried them on Casablanca Records and Film.
Yeah.
It's probably now a porn studio. It's probably not even a record store anymore.
No, you know who you guys would
company.
probably. I think who you guys would actually look good on or fit good on is that label Seasons of Mist. If you've heard of that label, Christian Death's on it, a Bath, and a lot of black metal, a lot of dark gothic bands are on there, but even metal bands as well. They're kind of like a fairly new label. I wouldn't say it's solely new, but they're in that place with Napalm Records and Nuclear Blast and Century Media. I think you guys would be a good Century Media band too. I can hear you on Century Media.
Those are fun. Yeah. Do you guys know the people from there? Because
yeah. Hold on, let me call Buck real quick. Oh, shit.
We tried
Buck, I got this
Cleopatra.
band, man. Yeah, they're called Molly Vamp. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It is weird though, because if you think about it, like what basically can a record company do for you these days other than just take part of your money?
Yeah, I think what they are now, they seem like they're just more like big distributors. In other words, they will. I don't know what they pay for. I know like Phil Lewis was telling me about the label they're on, that Frontiers record. He said, yeah, they basically give you about $18,000 and then you just got to do the rest on your own. I go, the LA Guns basically have to pay for their own free merchandise and stuff. It's like, but they make the money off the tours and like,
it's not like it used to be.
One of the things that I'm kind of like,
that's how those labels are working.
I'm kind of scared of signing to a label and then all of a sudden they take your image, they take your songs, and then you cannot perform them if you don't do good. Like if you don't sell records, because you might owe like maybe like $10,000 to make a record. And because that happened to my friend, White Wizard, where he couldn't use his name. So he had to form a different band. That's where I'm kind of like, I don't know, but
yeah, that's why you just got to really have somebody to help you with that contract or read that contract. That's why everyone needs a music lawyer, to look over, because you can get screwed over big time. You're publishing, they actually own the recordings. If they pay you money to record an album for that label, then they own those recordings, but you still own the music as long as you keep your publishing. Just don't ever sign off your publishing. That's where it gets tricky and hard for a lot of bands, and that's why a lot of bands get fucked over.
Yeah, always keep your publishing, people.
Imagine you're at the studio and then the guy comes up and then he says to you, oh man, that song you're doing, no man, you're gonna do it this way. And you're like, but this is the way it is. And the guy's like, nah, it's kind of like that movie, that thing you do, where he goes quit.
There's no way I could do that.
That's probably the extreme fear.
Well, even that last label that we were on with Will o' Wisp, it's like I designed the CD cover, and the guy was telling me like, no, we're gonna have this for a CD cover, and like me and Tony were like, fuck you, no, we're going with this. This is the concept that we want. This is what we're gonna use. And you could tell the guy's like, oh, okay, I guess we'll stick with it. He was trying to like say that, oh, that's too Photoshop looking. But the one that he was showing me was way worse, And so you got to just stand up and say, no, this is what I want. But they have you sign the contract, so if they want to drop you, they could drop you.
Yeah. And they can replace you too easily.
They can replace
which is
you.
Scary.
Yeah. We're all replaceable.
That's the beauty of Yes, unless you're on Spotify. Spotify, they're kind to us.
Yeah.
Our iTunes is kind to us. Yeah, they pay us fractions of a penny. Yeah. Even if they
Erik
pay us.
promoting a Spotify always.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
The cool thing about Spotify is you can make your own playlist and you can put like whatever you want on it and call it whatever you want.
All right, guys. Well, certainly, we appreciate you guys being on the show. If you haven't, go check out Molly Vamp. They are obviously on Spotify, YouTube. They have a bunch of videos up there.
And anything you guys want to, what are you guys working on these days? Like anything you got coming up?
Saturday, June 25th, we're going to be at the Doll Hut. We're going to be playing with Lit Soul, Sorceress of Sabbath, Black Star Sinners, friend of ours. And then we're doing stages in July. Oh, we're playing with Richie Kotzen.
Oh, yeah? Oh, cool. Kick ass.
At the Canyon, yeah. So if anybody wants to,
I was going to ask you about that. I saw you in the Guitar World. How did that come about? You had that little piece in the Guitar World.
I just submitted my picture. I submitted my photo, and then they just selected me. But the cool thing, though, I went to Rhino Records, right? And I'm going through the magazines, and then I saw the High Wire Days.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, Ken from High Wire Days has always had our back. He's a great promoter of local bands. So if you want to get your band out there, go see Ken at High Wire Days, man.
Oh, I was gonna say you're playing with Richie Kotzen. I actually cut him off accidentally.
Yeah, August 9th at the Canyon in Montclair. So if anybody wants to go, you can just say, "Hey, yo, I want some tickets." I go, "No, you can go in for free, man."
Yeah, cool. It's a magic word right there.
Cool. All right, guys, thank you very much for being on the show. Molly Vamp, go check them out. So how about that Molly Vamp? They were pretty cool, right?
Yeah, super cool guys, man.
Molly and Billy.
Yeah, me and Billy go way back. It was fun to catch up with him a little bit. And
we had a bit of technical difficulty, so hopefully it turns out okay. If anything seems weird, we were having some weird Wi-Fi issues. Hopefully we fix that in post.
Yeah, just
if not, then you won't be hearing this at all.
We can always
I'll
CGI.
just edit the whole goddamn thing, but
we can always CGI them. them.
We'll have a little cartoon.
Yeah.
Or we'll just show their picture. If I just get the audio, we'll just have a picture of them. Yeah, Billy's. We've known Billy for a long time. He's like the renegade bass player for all the bands,
I call him the Dean Castronova, which is a drummer of Journey, but he plays all these different bands. But he summed it out better when he said, "I'm the Rudy Sarzo of bass players." Okay. Or the dollar store version of Rudy Sarzo, because Rudy's another guy.
Rudy Sarzo played in Quiet Riot. He played in Ozzy.
White Snake. And
Snake, yeah.
And he's quiet. Now he's back in Quiet Riot. He's like the only original member of Quiet Riot left.
Hey, whatever pays the bills, man.
Yeah. Well, he's going to make him sell records at least.
I like the fact that Billy's been working at Hot Topic, for the last 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was telling us about all these concerts and stuff. So we're going to have him back on the show just to do kind of like a solo interview. He could tell us all the good times at secret shit from Hot Topic and stuff and expose the company.
Yeah.
For the shenanigans that they pull. No, actually, it sounded like they were a pretty good company, actually. The way he was describing it. I want to work there now.
Yeah, like I said, I order from him all the time. I don't go to Hot Topics anymore. I just sit on my computer and, that looks nice. So let me order it.
Actually, to me, Hot Topic doesn't seem like a rock store anymore. They seem like an anime store. I mean, they pretty much just all have anime and a few dresses,
Yeah, I'd say they're kind of like Spencer Gifts too now. Like they just have anything pop culture, I think.
They're just a pop culture store. And I mean, I guess you have to change with the times, but I remember back when we lived right next to the very first Hot Topic.
Yeah, that was like the place to go for your goth stuff or your satanic stuff. And,
Yeah, it was in, not Ontario, but in Montclair, California.
Yeah.
And we would go there and it would just be like, it was just like paradise for somebody who didn't normally have, access to cool stuff,
Remember the latex leather pants that you get there? Like, I remember getting the green pair, the lime green pants and black leather.
The skinny jeans.
That's where you went for your stage. That's where you went for your stage clothes. Yeah, the wristbands and
Yeah, I wonder what happened. I mean, I guess that's a good sign when rock was dying. When Hot Topic started to change over into pop culture, you knew shit was going down.
That's what I say. I think they're the birth of emo. Like
yeah,
emo music.
That's for
emo
sure.
Started with Hot Topic.
But even just the fact that they changed over from like, because again, it was based around music. They even had CDs. They had like listening station. It was almost like a record store / clothing store / hangout. It was just like everything all in one.
Yeah, the really cool shirts, T-shirts, rock T-shirts.
And I think what revolutionized it was the fact that they put it in the mall. It wasn't just some obscure mom and pop shop that you had to go look for and come across by accident. It was in the local mall where all the normal people were Macy's and J.C. Penney's and shit, and the old ladies were walking around, and all of a sudden you had this fucking wonderful store with all the things you couldn't get anywhere else, especially if you were living in the middle of nowhere.
Hot Topic, sponsored by Hot Topic.
Yeah, we went from the trailer park to Hot Topic and back to the trailer park with nothing.
We had the Merced Mall, remember that?
Yes.
You're in one end. It takes you about 1 minute to go through the Merced Mall. You start with one end. It was just one. It was a mall. It was just one strip of stores.
Yeah, it was just. I remember they had the smorgasbord. What was that? That was like a buffet. Like there were no buffets back then, which was weird. That was like the only buffet.
Yeah, there was a smorgasbord, which that was also in Atwater too. The King something or whatever.
Yeah,
grandma tickets too. And but yeah, Sambo's was in the mall. And the record store we go to was Musicland. Later on turned to Sam Goody.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And then International Imports was owned by the Indian people
from
India. And there you go in there, they have like, a lot of decorative stuff for your home, like, lava lamps and plants and stuff. But then they had the one little section that was like metal, like wristbands, and you could buy
because clearly they were doing all the, they didn't believe in killing cows, but for some reason they had a lot of leather products.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yep. When I first met my dad for the first time, I had him bring me there, and he bought me a wrist, spiked wristband, and I was like, yeah, I'm metal now,
Yeah, your dad's all like, oh shit, I should have came earlier and took care of you, boy.
Yeah, it was cool because you could buy photographs there. They would sell concert photos that looked like they were really taken. Yeah, that's where I got the Randy Rhoads with Ozzy, and I remember telling people, I was at the
I had
concert.
Motley Crue. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's right. They looked like real they were just photo prints. But,
and that's even where we got our banners. It was big. Remember the big Alice Fiend banner?
Yeah, I had the Motley Crue one there.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even know that Motley Crue had like a mascot. Like, you never heard of it. Like, I never knew it until I saw that banner. I was all, Alistair Fiend. I didn't even know what? But it looked cool. So
like badass. I remember drawing it.
It was like a caricature of Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, basically.
Which was kind of cool. But yeah, so everybody go check out the Randy Rhoads special.
Yeah, the documentary Reflections of a Guitar Icon.
And then let us know about it because we haven't seen it yet. So we got nothing to say about it.
I'm going to watch it tonight. It's going to be my TV, my movie and dinner movie.
Erik will report to us.
Yeah, hour and a half long too. So it's a good hour and a half documentary.
Damn, you waste all kinds of money on shit like that.
Yeah,
man.
And get out there and get those Quiet Riot 1 and 2. I spent $250 on those motherfuckers because I got the box set of the one, and then I bought the 2 regular albums. But the box set comes with a cassette, CD, poster.
But was it normally that price, or did you have to buy it somewhere else because it sold out?
No, it's this place called No Remorse Records. They're the ones putting it out. They're the ones just doing the reissue of it. And it's going to be actually released in June, but they're just giving you the chance to pre-order it. So they have like 4 different versions. You could buy like just the record itself, like the colored vinyl, or you could buy the box set. And I first just bought the 2 records, by the Quiet Riot 1 and Quiet Riot 2. But I was looking at that box set, and I was like, it's $89. I'm thinking like, this is European money, so it ended up being like $106 after, US dollars or whatever.
It's
but
European money.
But I'm sitting there checking my account, saying, okay, well, can I afford this? Or maybe I could just, do I owe taxes? Maybe I could just skip a tax payment this month. And like, so fuck it.
So speaking of which, so that we can support Erik's habit, we just got monetized on YouTube. So now when you watch our videos on YouTube, we actually get like half a cent for every view.
And you get to suffer through commercials. While we get paid, you suffer through commercials. Unless you got
So if you watch us on YouTube, make sure you click on whatever the commercial is to help support us. I mean, if you're willing to give, like, let's say $1 to a homeless guy when you see him, at least you could do is just watch one of our videos, you know? Just watch it, watch the ad. It helps support us. It helps support Erik's music habit, which is worse than his drug habit.
Yeah, there's a lot of new music coming out this year. A lot more I need to get.
We got to help support the music scene by watching our stuff. All you got to do is watch something. I mean, it's way cheaper than giving money to homeless people. You help us out. You help out your community. You help out the metal bands of the world.
Exactly.
Because Erik supports them.
Yeah, because if you don't help my habit, I'm going to be homeless. And then you have to give me money anyway for that.
So go to our YouTube channel, Gen X Bros, and check it out. We just put out a really cool Metallica video about our last episode and mud wrestling with Marjorie Taylor Greene and
Lauren
Boebert. So check it out. Check out all of our old stuff. We also... In case you like listening to podcasts on YouTube, you can actually listen. We put out the full podcast episode on our YouTube channel as well, too, because sometimes it's more convenient to have YouTube up rather than like on an Apple podcast or Spotify or something like that. So,
and also comment on our stuff, ask us questions. We want to be able to read your questions over the air. You know, ask us anything. We're not afraid to answer anything. So,
yeah, we're here to help.
And if it's a question that's too crazy to answer, we'll answer it and we'll edit it out. So
if you need help with the instructions to put together your IKEA furniture,
yes, we are there.
Let us know, man. We'll help you out. It'll take us a month to get to you. So you may have to wait a bit to put that shit together, but we'll help you.
I know I won't be able to put it together. I can't even put together a freaking simple shelf when I get it. I freaking ordered a
Erik
shelf.
will help you, but it'll end up backwards and upside down.
I ordered a CD shelf and had like freaking I don't know how many panels, but I couldn't put it together. I ended up just throwing it away instead of getting my money back. Paid like $70 for it too. Like that's just couldn't.
See, now this is where Erik used to benefit from me living next to him, because then he would call me and I would come and put it together.
Put it together for me.
What did you guys used to call me in the band? Like back in the day, it was a One Mechanism Man or something.
One mechanism. Yeah, because all it took was one little mechanism and it was fixed.
Because every time something would be broken on stage, like Erik wouldn't have sound or Tony's drums wouldn't work or something, and I would go over there to check it, be thinking it was this huge problem because they're like freaking out. My amp's not getting any sound. I'd be like, dude, you didn't turn it on.
Yeah. Like flick a little button and like, oh,
you didn't plug in the cord.
He's like, he's God.
I was like the Indian trouble, like customer support of the Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
How may I help you today? How may I fix your amp today?
Your tech support. India.
Tech support. I was a trailer park tech support for Hollywood.
Yes.
That shit just came easy to me.
What else was in the news?
No, I didn't bother looking it up because I didn't give a shit.
Other than Ukraine.
Oh yeah, Ukraine's still going on, man. They need to fucking.
My fear is
still killing people, and
my fear
the
is
more it goes on, the less people give a shit.
My fear is that the stronger they fight, the more chances we get a nuclear war happening. I want them to fight, but at the same time, it's like
that's kind of how I think it's going to end. I kind of think it's going to end where Putin's just going to get so frustrated that he's going to do what we did to Japan. And he's just going to drop a bomb and say, fuck you guys. And then what are we going to do? It's fine. I live far enough away from Vegas that it won't bother me.
Yeah.
You live far enough away from the main part of Portland that it won't bother you.
Yeah, hopefully.
So somebody fucking take Putin out before this shit happens.
Yeah, I think that's all you need to do. Take Putin out.
I mean, this is just like Hitler. I'm sorry, but to use that reference, but Hitler was doing the same thing and nobody did anything. Nobody said anything until it was too late. And, it's like step up here, people.
It baffles me that they say they're doing this to Ukraine to kill Nazis when they're doing exactly what Nazis do. And if there was let's just say for sake of argument or sake of truth or whatever, devil's advocate, let's say Ukraine was all Nazis. They weren't hurting nobody. They were just like,
I'm sure there's lots of Nazis here in America. We got Nazis here. But you don't see them blowing the whole United States up and shit.
They weren't putting people in gas chambers. Ukraine seemed like a pretty peaceful country. If they were Nazis, or then why freaking do this? Why are you attacking
secret
them?
Nazis?
Yeah, this is coming up to the. Yeah, that's the lamest excuse that Putin is fucking. That's just how stupid he is. He's just a stupid.
Well, it's how stupid the people that believe it are. I mean, it's the same thing that happens here with Trump. You say something stupid, the people are so brainwashed, they go, oh, okay, well, that justifies it. I don't have to, because again, the whole point is to prevent people from protesting. if you give them an excuse, and maybe they really don't believe it, but it was the same thing with Jewish people in Germany. The Jews are these horrible people that are rats and shit. And you kind of had a choice. Do I stand up and fight and die? Or I just go, they're bad people. Let them die. Who cares? That's the image that they put in your head to brainwash you, so that way you don't fight back. And the Russian people are doing the same thing. They're like, well, I don't want to get arrested. If they say Ukraine is bad, then they're bad. I'll just I got my own life to worry about.
Right?
People got their own shit to worry about. They don't want to deal with this stuff.
Crazy shit, man.
What about music news, Erik? Anything happening in the world of music besides your own music?
yeah. Music news. There's some stuff that, no, my mind's going blank. There's nothing, I guess there's nothing.
Well, that's it, people. There's no music in the whole world. Everything's shut down.
Nobody passed away that I could think of.
It's a quiet week for music news.
I should do some more research and maybe make that a thing and close the show with some music news. And I'll just be repeating.
Well, I did hear that, unfortunately, I kept seeing over my feed is that the Cobra Spell, the singer, I guess, that they let him go or he quit because he couldn't go on tour with them. And they have a new singer, which now is a female. So
okay. Oh.
We always questioned whether the singer was a female, and now it actually is. So.
Okay, yeah. So, and that actually, that just put a little bubble over my head. Oh, there is some music news. Danny Filth, Cradle of Filth, just lost their female singer, keyboard player, and their guitar player they've had forever. No real clear reason as to why. I think Danny Filth just released a statement like, we can't hold anybody back if they don't want to continue on. We let them go. And then there's some people that just can't handle the success, and so we let them go, this and that. Which I'm shocked because this chick, I think her name is Annabelle or something like that. I follow her on Instagram, but I think she was the best one they've ever had because her voice was powerful. She had a cool stage presence. She was really good on the keyboards. And then that guitar player, they kept the guy that's bald. He's actually a good guitar player. The other guy I didn't really care too much about. He was just I didn't really care for her stage presence. But I'm surprised they got rid of her so fast.
Well, I would imagine it's tough touring all the time. You can't do it. Some people aren't built for that. Some people have the ego to where they can just... It takes a certain type of person to be famous. You have to somewhat be egotistical.
Yeah, because
you just have to be.
I don't even think it's been a year. Maybe it's been a couple of years since she's been in the band, or maybe no. I think it's only been a year because like that last chick they had her for.
Now I wonder if we paid Danny Filth enough on Cameo if he would come on the show and explain himself.
Yeah, come on, Danny.
Well, we got to pay him. Like, let's go on Cameo and say, hey, how much would it be to go on our podcast?
Yeah, he's only charging $50 on Cameo, man.
Yeah, so $100. He comes on the show, talks for 10 minutes.
Hey, Danny will double your pay, man.
Yeah, you'll get rich.
You'll get rich, man. This is make you famous.
Give us some clout.
We'll
People
make
be like, oh, you got Danny Filth on your show? Whoa, you must be a good shot. No, we paid him $50.
Yeah, we'll make you famous. Yeah, but I guess I already got a replacement for her and everything. It's like, damn, that was fast.
Hey, Danny works fast, man. He don't fuck around. He knows what he's doing. All right, well, that is our show. I hope you enjoyed. We want to thank Molly Vamp again for being on the show.
Yes, thank you, Molly.
Check out their music. Go listen to them. Go to our YouTube channel. Help support us on there. Tell your friends about us. Go on YouTube and share our videos. Share them on Facebook. Share them on Twitter or anywhere else. Share them with your grandma.
Share them with your grandpa. Share them with your kids.
Go visit your grandparents in the home. Yeah. Do them some good and show them some weird videos of two guys with long hair. And
share them with that baby that's in your belly you're about to abort before you abort it. Just kidding. Put the speaker up to the belly.
Let them hear something cool before they die.
Before you pump.
Damn, we're sick. We're going to get in trouble.
Coat hangers. Free coat hangers.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Ooh, thank you.
Hey, look, it's Erik. He's being aborted.
Yeah.
Are you catching fish or getting rid of a baby?
That's how you abort a human. That's probably what it's like for when you're a baby getting aborted with a hammer. That's why it's murder. That's probably
if you grab on, you can come out early.
Right.
Just grab onto that shit.
Man.
Wiggle your way out.
Here I am.
There's going to be a lot of people hating us. But.
Yes. Bring it on.
All right. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you listening to us. We will talk to you next week.
Horns up and peace out.